Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. Lit. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds? What's
Ladies and gentlemen, it's What's the Odds with Steve Renazizi. It's the last podcast of 2022. It's December 29th. Merry Christmas. Hope you had a happy holiday. Happy. You know what I mean. Happy.
Somebody got drunk on Christmas.
No, we say Merry Christmas around here. All right. Merry fucking Christmas. Hope you guys had a great holiday with your families. I hope you got all the Josh Allen barbecue sauce and rubs your heart could possibly ever want. What a gift. What a gift. Where do you buy? I know it was a gift from you and Santa Claus brought it. But is the Josh Allen barbecue rubs and this is not a national.
We got rubs, we got Diggs hot sauce, we got the cereal.
What I'm saying is this is just stuff from sold in local marts in Buffalo, correct?
Coffee. It's at this amazing grocery store known as Wegmans. Anyone who is on the East Coast that has them knows them. It basically Wegmans makes Whole Foods look like a Kmart. It's the greatest place to buy food on the planet. It's phenomenal. And they're the guys who created the Flutie Flakes. They had Jim Kelly had a cereal for a while. They just keep putting Bill shit on food products and people buy them up and they're amazing.
Lest anyone believe that Brenton, since winning $1 million that I gave him because I handed him a spot of an opportunity on this podcast. Everyone knows that. We don't need to drum up old history. But lest anyone believe that he's been moving on up, this man still gets Christmas presents bought at a grocery store, and
These
is
are
happy
awesome
about
gifts.
them and loves them.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying
it's tailgating flag.
Yeah, dude. All things. If it was like you need to purchase 8 items for under $15, that's like the shit I put in my kid's stocking. Okay, dude.
This is such a nice gift. Now,
I know. I love it.
Was Cassie thrilled that it was addressed to both of us? Probably not, but she'll enjoy the wings.
She doesn't need anything else. She's got you in her life. What else does she need? What else could she possibly want? She's got you,
a lot apparently,
Rogue, and all the rubs, all the Josh Allen rubs and cereals she could possibly ever desire. The woman is like white Oprah, so don't tell anyone. You know what I'm saying? She's blessed. Hashtag Cassie's blessed. Let's get that going. I had a great holiday too. I got probably the equivalent of your rubs in men's socks. So, I got everyone knows now I'm at the age now. Here's where I'm at. I figured this out. I'm at the age now where I tell everyone, and I mean it. I don't need anything. Don't get me anything. I really don't need anything. But when they actually follow through with that now, it still kind of hurts a little bit. like people are starting to listen to that now and then not get me anything. And I'm like, oh, what did I get? And I do the inventory now after the holiday. And now it's like, 8 pairs of socks, all with writing on the bottom. It says, if you can read this, get me a beer, like on one foot. If you can read this, these are very cute novel socks. I get tons of chapstick. Basically what I'm getting is things that people think that I'm either losing, and I'm not losing them. People are stealing and taking them from me. My chapsticks, my toothbrush. Like once in a while, Jonah will just walk in and because Jonah likes to shower in my the guy thinks he's already king of the castle. In the morning, he just walks into our bedroom and into our bathroom and showers in our shower because it's the nicest shower in the fucking house. Because it's my fucking shower. I paid for that shower. I earned that shower. But king of the castle, the Sudanian prince just walks right in the fucking place, lights it up. So now, and he gets out. There's 100 towels. The water's everywhere. He's like a baby elephant. And then, on to the rest of his day. So I once in a while, he'll take my toothbrush in the process of that. He'll brush it. He'll do everything in there with.
That's
and
such
it's like,
an alpha
I love
move.
him. It is, dude, and I
Taking
love
your
him.
toothbrush.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're in prison, and he's showing me who the bitch is. I'm the bitch. I'm getting bitched in my own house. So I got a butt ton of toothbrushes, like more than anyone could ever want. Chapsticks, toothbrushes, socks. Yeah, that's about it. And that's all I need, dude. Really. That's all I kind of need. I didn't need a new fucking, case of balls for golf. I didn't need any of that. I didn't need, I got a pair of Crocs too. I take that back. Oh, and I got one other gift that's great. My wife gets me great gifts. She got me a pair of Crocs, which I wanted. I've never had Crocs before, and now I feel part of a club that I've felt really, alienated from for the past couple of years. Everybody's got their Crocs, and I also got, because we got Jackson a Saquon Barkley jersey, which was awesome. He loved it. Wore it to fucking the whole day on Christmas. But I got a Al Bundy jersey, the Al Bundy from Polk High. Married with Children. Remember Al? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got the Al Polk High number. I think it's 33 on the back or 34. I can't remember the number, but it says Bundy on the back. It's classy, and it's beautiful, and it's one of my favorite gifts ever. So I did well, dude. I did really well. I'm happy about it.
Oh, I left out the best part of mine.
It would have been better. The only thing that could have made it better is that the Vikings kick just went, 61 yards. After that, you didn't hear what I just said. I said the only thing that could have made it better. What is that? Is that beer?
That is a bottle of wine.
What kind? Is it
that's a Cabernet, and this is a sweet rosé.
Oh, sweet. That looks like fucking, oh boy. So what is the plan on those? Are those like you're saving them for
When
AFC
they win the Super
Championship and then
Bowl? Me and
Super Bowl?
Lucas,
Is that
we're going to be in Arizona. We're going to crack this open after we win the Super Bowl. And then we're going to get sloppy with the rosé.
And jump through tables.
Exactly.
Jesus, man. First of all, are you saying this year's Super Bowl or just when they win the Super Bowl?
This year's Super Bowl. No, it's happening.
Okay. That could be a vintage, guys.
We're putting it all together.
All right. I love it. You should be happy. The Miami Dolphins loss was a Christmas miracle for you guys. I don't know how Aaron Rodgers pulled that out of his fucking hat. This guy is just, he listens to everybody that talks shit. And next thing you know, he's like, fuck, what do you, like everybody, I heard everyone, including you, including fucking Lucas, me, everyone, every talking cunt, everyone, they're done. And they still are done. They're not making the fucking playoffs, but they might.
If they win out, they
might.
And they have
But they
two
might.
winnable games.
Yeah, look, they are all winnable now. Everybody's beating everyone. I'm happy the Giants kept it close. I love that. Dude, how do we move the ball? That was a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, I watched that yesterday, and two things to take away from that. One, you got to re-sign Daniel Jones. He's becoming a guy in that system. He can run when he needs to. He made some really good deep throws to Slayton and Hodgins. And two, Hodgins is a guy.
You know what? Well, you never know, dude. Hodgins could be like the next Christian Watson. Like with some guy, you're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
But dude, you know what I love about Danny Dimes? I'm going back to Danny Dimes. How many fucking times? This podcast is going to be like, when Danny Dimes goes into the Hall of Fame in 10 years from now or 15 years from now, we're going to have all this. We're going to have the part when I was in fucking, where was I? Oh, I was in Cabo when he got drafted, throwing drinks off into the pool all the way to the time he puts the fucking gold jacket on. So I think he runs with passion, and he doesn't run like a first-round draft pick. Like no one. He's never sliding. Everything is head first. We need like one more yard. He knows like every yard he can possibly get is.
Well, I don't think he knows how to slide. He falls down.
He doesn't, dude.
Angrily.
But also like seems to just get back up like a big dumb idiot. Like that's okay. I don't need.
He never doesn't have the same expression. Good things happen, bad things happen. It's just.
No, we're used to that. We're used to big, dumb, like slack-jawed, mouth-breathing idiot quarterbacks. Eli Manning for fucking 15 years, and now this guy with the.
Yeah, he looks like the CEO of Facebook.
Yeah, so it's fine. I'm happy with him. the defense played pretty well, considering, you got the best fucking receiver in the world, and they went to him when they had to, and they did what they had, and then what are you going to do? But they really drove the.
You had a couple of bad turnovers. You had the Bellinger
61
fumble, and then Richie
Yes.
James dropping that 3rd and 5 in the 4th quarter. If he catches that and that drive keeps going and you don't kick the field goal, I mean, that was game changing.
61-yard field goal to lose is not the worst way to lose, unless you need to fucking win, which we didn't necessarily, but we do this weekend. So now we're going to have to.
Yeah.
And we will. We're going to. It's the last home game of the year.
Yeah.
It's, and look, I mean, who knows? Because the Philly thing could happen with Jalen Hurts getting hurt. But let's just beat fucking the team we should beat, Indy, and worry about that and get that over with.
The Lane Johnson injury for Philadelphia is interesting, so it's something to monitor. They're saying that he's not going to get surgery and he probably will come back for the playoffs, but it's definitely a big loss for Philly if he's out, or if he's limited, or if he re-aggravates it. And then Hurts is not playing this week because they don't need to win this game to clinch the 1st seed, but he'll probably be back next week. But Gardner Minshew played pretty good, all things considered.
I mean, I got to be honest. I really didn't get a chance to watch him. Which day was that game on? We hosted Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
That was Christmas Eve. That was probably the best game of Christmas Eve. The Giants game, I'll tell you, the Vikings are playing really fun football.
Yeah. Once the Giants-Viking game was over, then I had to clock in with the old family. So, then you're on the clock with everybody else. So
the Giants-Eagles game was a classic.
I mean, I did have time to make it to the championship of our fantasy football league. Not only in our league.
Yeah, congrats.
I did. Thank
Congrats
you.
To you. Make it easy on me and win so I can just send you a trophy.
And I'm going to win.
Oh, but we got to talk about that, actually. Let me pull it up because Tua's probably not going to play.
Yeah, no. So I've got. You
got to figure it out. You got to go Russell Wilson all in, new coach.
I did already. I already made the move. I went to go pick up. I think homeboy's playing Brock Purdy. Am I right? Or because Jonah's in the championship?
No, he's doing. He's going. So you've got Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams, which with Stidham.
I know.
That
I know.
sucks.
I'm like, what?
That really sucks. Gabe Davis could go off. Joe Mixon could go off. Stevenson's good. Schultz is good.
I mean,
James Conner's
I got my
been
best
great.
possible.
So that's not bad. You're going up against Kenny Pickett, AJ Brown, Tyler Boyd,
but AJ Brown might have Gardner Minshew.
So Josh Jacobs
and then Devontae Adams.
Eckler, Okunwango from the Titans.
Whoa, did you have a stroke, dude?
Kawanana. All
right.
That's with Malik Willis. So that game tonight, that's going to be interesting because you're not going to have Derrick Henry. So that offense is probably going to struggle.
That sucks because that's who Jonas running back number 1 is. Yeah. And he's in a championship against his. Yeah, he beat one of the kids in his league went 12-0, and the last game of the season, a regular season, he beat him. Then Jonah had a bye the first week. Then that guy lost in the semifinals. Jonah won, and now he's plays this kid, the Bills Mafia kid, is fucking legit.
Yeah. Well, you're going up against Cameron.
His first name is
CDC
Santino.
Guidelines.
So we'll see. I mean, Derrick Henry, that sucks because, I mean, these are. He's not 100%, but he's certainly. If it was a game that meant something, he'd be in the fucking game.
Well, that's the thing.
Half the goddamn Titans are doing.
Yeah, this game means nothing to them. They just have to win next week.
So, I really am like, this sucks. So I'm happy about where I am in champ. I mean, worst to first, worst to first, and that's what you want. Yeah. That's the parity that we need in this league and in this whole fucking thing.
I've just been living in the middle for the last 3 seasons.
Because you are a middler. You middle. Yeah. You're not a guy that goes for it. I go for it. Sometimes I miss. Sometimes I end up in last place.
Speaking of Russell Wilson, it was interesting this morning on Twitter. Barstool Sports put up an article about Russell Wilson having a private office and private parking spot at the Broncos facility. And Jerry Jeudy went on Twitter and is defending him, saying that the guy has that because he's there nonstop because his work ethic is second to none and he's the best team I've ever had. And
I don't think anybody on the planet is questioning whether Russell Wilson tries hard. I think he does. I think the problem is that the skill is no longer there. And I think at a
Well-
6-foot quarterback, it goes away way quicker than it does for anybody else, except for Drew Brees. Drew Brees was a guy who was with a guy who had the right system, who had the right people around him, who just constantly put him in the right position to win. When you go to be the guy, I mean, if you took Drew Brees away from Sean Payton, I think at some point and just fired Sean Payton and brought in some coach who thought he could have a system, it would probably be a lot for Drew Brees to deal with. He wouldn't be able to, I don't think.
I agree with that, but I think Nathaniel Hackett needs to take at least a chunk of the blame. And for a first-year coach to get fired, not even after the whole season, and he wasn't doing an Urban Meyer and sleeping with co-eds, like that tells you how bad he was.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no game plan.
What they had on paper before the season started, a lot of guys, I mean, first of all, that division was considered murderer's row before the season started, but a lot of people had them. I think I might have even picked them to win a division.
Yeah.
In a murderer's row division. Because I said they got a great defense. The run game usually works. Like it's the Broncos brand. Just get a guy in there that doesn't, and Russell Wilson at that point we all thought could do way more than just manage the game and not fuck it up. So it's really it's crazy to me. But I mean, there's nothing they can do about this. They have tied themselves financially to him. He is not cuttable. He is not Derek Carr, which I thought was uncuttable, but I realize now I'm like, oh shit. They're sitting him down.
Yeah, he just signed an extension too, but they can cut him before
it's not
February.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, they can cut him before February, and then it's guaranteed.
And that's why they're sitting him down so he doesn't get hurt. If he gets hurt, if he blows out an ACL, they can't cut him in February. He's got to rehab, and they got to pay him next year.
Yeah.
So they're sitting him because they're getting rid of him. That's it.
Where does he go?
I mean, he can go anywhere. You look at he can go to the Jets. Think about that.
The Colts.
I mean, there's a lot of think about it. To me, talent wise, if you look at the NFL, he's probably top 10 talent in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10?
I would top 15 for sure. But you mean you could make an argument, just talent alone. You line him up with X, Y, and Z receiver with everybody else. Who's getting the ball there? Who's making? I mean.
Maybe he goes to Miami. Do you think Tua's going to play again?
If you're the Jets, are you going to? I mean, the money will probably be about the same. But are you going to sign Tom Brady? Or are you going to sign fucking Derek Carr? If you're given the choice,
I would go Derek Carr, but I'm also super biased against Tom Brady.
But I would too, dude. And I'm calling it all things even.
You're welcome if you took the Cardinals to cover with Trace McSorley.
We fucked again, guy. One fucking game.
I know. We all fell into the trap. Everyone was on the Lions, and when everyone's on somebody, they're destined to lose.
Fucking Lions. Well, look. Where was I? Oh no, Derek Carr, done. Surprising, but it will affect Devonta Adams. It will affect, probably their offense, which they don't seem to give. I just can't believe they've chosen the coach over the quarterback.
Yeah.
What's the game plan now? You're going to let this guy go draft someone? You're going to let this guy because now you're either in the market for a quarterback or you got to go draft one. Unless if I'm the owner, if I'm fucking Chucky Head, I'm saying who is the guy that you want to go draft and how can we get him where we have a draft pick without giving up the fucking farm? Because I'm not doing this again. This is crazy. We had a guy that we all thought we believed, and we signed to extension.
Yeah, do they have first? They might not have a first next year. Didn't they give it away for Devonta?
They gave up Devonta Adams. Yeah. So who are you going to get? Who are you getting? Who are they getting that's better?
Just a really confusing bad move.
I may have over exaggerated with a top 10, but he is a top. What are there? 30 teams, 32 teams in the NFL. He's
a winner in the league. He's won games this year. They're a bad team, yes, but he's won games. He can win. You give him a good system, he could be a successful quarterback.
What I feel about Joe Burrow now, I started to have that same feeling about Derek Carr, maybe last year or the year before when I was like, oh, they're moving in the right direction.
And they did too. That's why they gave him all that money.
And I don't think he's that far away from what. Again, I haven't watched. We'd have to go to Cena, our resident Raiders expert, and see what she thinks. But I mean, I don't necessarily think that he's diminished that much.
Yeah.
You know,
Right now, the
skill-wise.
Raiders would be picking ninth, by the way. So they do have a first round pick
Okay.
this year.
Yeah,
So,
so
they could
maybe
get a
they
top tier quarterback, but
I
you
want
never
to know who
know.
that person is, and I want to know
It's-
why you think that guy's better than the guy that we got right now.
exactly
beyond
because
the money.
The moves that they made this season, it was like they were going all in, and now they've blown that up, and it hasn't even been a season.
In all seriousness, though, what about Brady? I mean, he works with McDaniels. That's the rumor that
Brady's going to want to go to the Dolphins if Tua taps out. The Dolphins have a good defense. They have the best weapons in football on offense, and he probably thinks Mike McDaniel, even though it'd be weird to have a coach that's 10 years younger than you, he probably thinks he's cool.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, he probably thinks he's cool.
And he doesn't want to leave Miami. He's already living down there in Florida. He just has to go up the street to Miami.
But I mean, if
I
you're
don't know, is Miami
Miami,
north or
going,
south of Tampa? I don't know Miami.
I don't know, dude. Again,
Wherever it is.
I'm not in the Brenton bandwagon of like constantly shitting on this guy, but I just based on what you saw this year, you know, like you got Mike Evans. Like, where are you going that you're going to get a better situation? I mean, I don't know.
He doesn't have an offensive line anymore, though, and the Dolphins have a pretty good offensive line. And when he isn't given time,
pretty good.
But he isn't given time. The Buccaneers have an atrocious offensive line because of injuries.
We also know, look, everyone said that about Indianapolis when Matt Ryan signed there because, they got a great offensive line and, they'll protect him and he's an old quarterback. Once that's going to work now. That's going to be great. But look, it shows like offensive lines are a very fickle fucking group.
Yeah.
They're as good as they are one year, as bad as they can be the next year. And it just takes a couple. I mean, they still have a Hall of Famer on their on the offensive line. How many offensive lines can say that? They have a bona fide Hall of Famer. Quentin Nelson is a Hall of Famer if he continues. He's been an All-Pro every year he's been in the league. But yeah, it's not a great group. So it doesn't necessarily mean this year's your offensive line is next year's offensive line. So you got to consider where it is when the time comes to make the decision. And I don't necessarily, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm going, God damn, dude. I can't. I mean, I know it's going to sell jerseys and but I just don't want to, you're not looking at it in a long-term way. You're looking at you can't look at Tom Brady as a long-term thing. And I don't think he's good enough to be the difference maker person anymore. I just don't.
No, but Steve, this is a short-term fix for if Tua decides I can't play football ever again because I just had another concussion, which is possible. Or
I get that. Health-wise, dude, I get
fans have officially turned on him, and he's not their hero anymore, which is crazy.
I know, but what I'm saying is,
before he was a god.
Now? You don't think Brady with a 12 on the fucking Dolphins jersey when he underthrows Hill by even more than what Tua was underthrowing Hill by is not going to get lit up just because it's the turquoise and white. It's not you're not handing it off to someone who's like, shit, dude. Like, to me, Derek Carr is more of a difference maker physically and talent wise at this point in his career than Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
And to me, it's almost not even close. I'm not talking about winning, locker room, ability to GM and pull talent with him. I'm not saying that. But by the way, if we are saying that, he also pulled the number one receiver in the world over to a team that no longer plays him. So he is able to, I don't know why I got on this. I'm not wearing a Derek Carr jersey. I'm just saying, I feel like the guy is getting the shaft a bit from a team that is not necessarily I don't think they know what they're doing.
Well, one, they don't know what they're doing. And two, based on that report about how they couldn't fire Mike McDaniels because of his contract and they just don't have the cash to fire him, pay him, and hire a new coach, it's probably a money thing with Carr where it's like, well, we can save $40 million here and just go and draft somebody and try to do this again. Yep, it's probably more about the money than actually caring if Carr has the ability to take them to the next level or not. It's boils down to that. They don't have the cash. They sell the team.
That is it. if that is it, dude, then if I'm Devonta Adams, I'm pulling one of those. Get me out of here. This is not what I signed up for.
Oh, my hammy's sore. I got to sit the next
Whatever
6
it takes,
games out.
dude. However these guys go about it now in the NFL, they have their own ways. Whether it's I'm just gonna fucking be straight out and tell everybody in the press exactly how I feel, or because they're already saying it. He doesn't even have to say anything. People right now going, "What the fuck, dude? You made this guy." He said it already. He's like, "Look, I came over here. The reason I came over here is this guy's my friend. I'll obviously continue on of a pro." I'll catch whoever throws me the ball, but that's part of the reason, if not the reason, I came over here. So, dude, could you imagine what fucking odds you would have gotten in week 2 or 3 that the Raiders won't make the playoffs, but Aaron Rodgers could possibly make the fucking playoffs? We were talking about that the trade deadline, swapping everything back to what it was before.
Yeah.
And now, what good would it even do if you were the Raiders? You're not even playing. You're not even having your best quarterback throw the best wide receiver the ball. I don't get it, but this has gone on too long. This talk of this, gone on too long. We're making Cena very happy.
Yeah,
This
Cena
is a
loves
very
it.
individual
Merry Christmas.
podcast for her. Merry Christmas, Cena. That was interesting to me that's going on. Oh, JJ Watt's retiring. Which, it's like
he's going out playing good football, man. He's playing great football.
He's not a bum, not at all. He's not a bum at all. It's not like a thing where it's like, oh shit, like this. It's not like, Jesus, why can't I remember?
Aaron
Peyton
Donald
Manning
would be
at
a
the
good
end of
example.
Well, no, Aaron Donald.
If he retires,
still-
he did nothing this year though. He didn't do much. Teams.
I don't think health-wise he's 100%. I think Aaron Donald would probably love to. I don't know what his contract situation was, but I bet you he would love to get his health. Look, again, I'm speaking for Aaron Donald, but let's just go out and limb and say that get my health right over the winter and make one more good run at like being the best I could possibly be for another year, maybe 2, on a team that's willing to, that's able to compete. See if I could be like, what homeboy was, on the Bill, what Von Miller was for them last year and for the Bills this year. Aaron Donald could certainly be that, if not more, if he was healthy. If he was healthy, man, I don't think there's anyone better still if he's healthy.
Do you think Stafford retires, or do you think he comes back?
He's got to, dude. He's got to. If you can't throw it, you got to get, it's like, unless you can.
Well, it's a neck issue that he's dealing with. So it's pretty serious.
I know, but Peyton Manning had the same thing with the upper neck issues, and he didn't have a cannon to begin with. Stafford definitely had a better arm than Peyton Manning did in the beginning of throughout his career. But if you can't, I don't know. I don't know how much pain he's able. He's probably a bull. Excuse me, a bull. But dude, he's been in the league for what, 15, 16 years?
I don't know if it's been that long, but he's definitely like
he was drafted
14.
in 2009.
Yeah.
9. Yeah, it's 13 years, almost to be 14. So that's a long time.
I got my ring. I got my Pizza Hut endorsements. I'm in every commercial. I can just retire, and I got my I got my hot wife. I got my kids. I can just immediately become a broadcaster. And
I don't know how much money he's owed. Is he owed money, or is this it? Is he done? Is he like this is the last year of his contract? Because if he's owed money, that's a big story. Not everyone wants to leave $35 million on the table. A lot of people go, I'll rehab for $35 million and make a run at it. Even if I'm not the best at what I could be.
Yeah, but if you know that the team's not improving your offensive line and you're just going to get hit every week, I don't know if you want to sign up.
Yeah, no, I guess, again, yeah. Some people are like, fuck that, dude. I'm not doing it anymore. It's over. Like, I don't care how much money you give me.
Let a person punch you in the face 10 times every day for $2 million a year?
Yes.
As hard as they want. Just right in your face.
No, he has 3 years left on the contract too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And it pays an average of $40 million a year. So,
bro, don't sell your Stafford.
He's coming back.
He's coming back, dude. 3 years is a lot.
But are they going to keep Baker Mayfield on as the backup, or is he going to go somewhere else?
Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Baker Mayfield, I mean, he probably loves it out in LA. It's where he spends most of his time shooting his commercials. So, you know, I think this whole West Coast, the bevy of quarterbacks they're going to have on the West, Jimmy G's going to be out there, dying on the vine in Napa Valley in San Francisco.
What about Trey Lance? What happens to him? Because I think Purdy will beat him out in a competition.
Dude, I think it all depends on what happens this year. If Brock Purdy, leads them to an NFC, it leads them to the Super Bowl, and is a difference maker, like actually like plays, like makes a difference in the game more than Jimmy G. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a situation on your hands.
Well, now you're saying
you have
that
to
Jimmy
realize
G
you're like
isn't going to get healthy because he's supposed to be healthy if they go deep in the playoffs. So Brock Purdy is playing well. I mean, we got a Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie situation potentially.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Brock Purdy
they're
is playing good football and they're winning, and Jimmy G.
Well, they're not getting
healthy.
the first seed. They're not getting the 1 seed.
No.
So they're going to have to play 3 playoff games.
Yeah,
but if you tell me right now,
and Jimmy G's
if
healthy,
they win 3 playoff games, and then Jimmy G gets, hold on, let me talk. If they win 3 playoff games, and then Jimmy G gets healthy, they're ready for the Super Bowl. You're going to hand the ball to Jimmy G in the Super Bowl over the guy that just won 3 playoff games in a row? We're not talking about fucking Phil Simms and Jeff Hostetler.
But we're talking about locker room. Those teammates fucking love Jimmy G. The guy is a winner, regardless of what people think. The guy wins. He has
those guys in that locker room love
great record.
I want to go with the guy who's been winning the last.
He is a winner, though. He's the one who got them there. Brock Purdy didn't get them there.
Can I ask you a question?
Situation.
If you're Jimmy G, it's a lose-lose. If you win, well, great. You just did what the last guy just did 3 times in a row, so great. And if you lose, whose fucking fault do you think it's going to be laid on? It's going to be all his fault, no matter what.
Jimmy G's not going to want to watch the Super Bowl. Jimmy G's going to want to play.
All I'm telling you, so you won't see Jimmy G. There ain't going to be no Jimmy G if they go to the Super Bowl and he's healthy to go to the Super Bowl. They will play with the Brock Purdy that let them there, okay? And that's unless he's like a liability and the defense is getting through. Which at that point, I think if you're fucking Shanahan, you go, hey guys, I think I want to get paid quarterback money. Because it seems like you don't even, regardless of who the fuck you put in here, we're winning games, dude. Yeah. My system is what makes this thing work. So I want 35 fucking million a year. That's what I would say if I'm Shanahan. But anyway, the point is, I think that if you're winning games in the playoffs, you got to fucking stay with the guy that brought you.
Yeah. But Lucas, to your point, it depends on what kind of offense they want to run next year. Because Jimmy G and Trey Lance are obviously 2 very different playbooks. And I think because they put so much into Trey Lance, he is going to get the opportunity, and it's his job until he loses it to Brock Purdy. Or, I mean, I got to imagine Jimmy G's gone.
I think Purdy plays Shanahan's system exactly as Shanahan wants it, though.
Yeah. He's a big fucking idiot. You just point him in the right direction.
In Trey Lance, and I don't think anyone's going to want to give them what they would want for him to get rid of him.
Bro,
so I think it's Trey Lance's job again. It's Trey Lance's job again until he loses it.
You know how much money Arizona invested in Josh Rosen, and then gone. Yeah, gone, bro.
Well, everyone who made those decisions will be fired after this season.
Yeah, and they'll all get jobs again. None of them are going to Burger King to work there, okay? We'll all be seeing them running around.
I kind of blame the Bills for why the 49ers reached for Lance like they did. I don't know if you remember in 2020, they played in San Fran on Monday night and absolutely beat the shit out of them. Allen went off, and everybody thinks that after that game, Shanahan said to himself, I need that quarterback.
I need that guy.
And so they gave up,
everyone needs that guy.
2 first-round picks?
Yeah,
but you see him. Yeah.
That's why I don't think they're going to give up on him.
I think Purdy's exactly what they need, though. And like Steve said, if they go to the playoffs, they won't need Jimmy G. They'll be good to have him.
Purdy hasn't done anything spectacular that Jimmy G hasn't already shown us. Like the eyeball test, he's not doing anything crazy. He's playing good football, and he's doing what they need him to do, but that's it. He's not taking over games.
Keep Trey Lance and keep Brock Purdy and let them battle it out for which style of offense you want to run. And then you ship Jimmy G up to wherever the hell, finally get some draft picks for this fucking guy. Get some more weapons or whatever, there'll be a market. The Jets, the Raiders, there'll be teams that are looking for quarterbacks. So who knows? The Giants. I mean, we could be talking about Daniel Jones looking for a job. If Daniel Jones is in the mix,
you gotta sign him.
There'll be teams lined up if we don't want to anymore. I mean, I used to say like, look, I don't think this guy's getting max deal or anything or 200 million or anything, nothing like that. But 5 years at 115 million, okay, maybe. Let's see how that works for a while.
You're talking about a guy who has raw talent. You see it, the eyeball test, the skills are there. He's had different systems every year of his career, and in the fourth year, he's got a really good coach with a great system, and he has less turnovers than the first 3 years combined. Like,
I'm hoping he's our Jimmy G, dude.
Killing it right now.
Let him be our
Daniel
Jimmy
Jones.
G. That's all
I mean, Derek Carr, you're maybe reaching. Daniel Jones is 100% a top 10 quarterback in the league. He's probably 10, but he's someone at the door. Sorry.
Dude, Rogue really fucking disagrees with you every time. Really disagrees with him.
I mean,
I like the fact that Giants have a guy that they like. They don't mind when he's. I don't mind when he's running the ball. He's cut down on the turnovers, even though he had a couple this week. What are you going to do? This is what happens in the NFL now. It happens less often, and that's all I was asking for. But I unless it's like a thing where somebody's really wants to come to New York and blah blah blah, and that works out, I'll be perfectly fine with Daniel Jones for the next couple of years. Perfectly fine.
You should be. He's a good quarterback, and I'm telling you, second year of being in the same system, and they're going to get him a couple more weapons. He's going to shine.
Speaking of the Bills, I feel terrible. Did you see them digging themselves, the players, their cars out of the fucking? I mean, my God, it's like, what is? Let them win. Let them win a Super Bowl, for God's sakes.
It's been
I just hope
horrendous
the day that
blizzard, and our thoughts are with the people of Buffalo.
It's crazy. Bills Mafia, Bills Nation. Our little hearts are jumping through picnic tables for you tonight. That's how we feel.
Folding tables, picnic tables. It's kind of extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess those concrete ones in the park. That's not gonna. They're not gonna.
Those don't break, Steve. Those don't fold in half.
No. Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at a homeless man. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and this homeless man. I think he was going to take a shit, or he might have taken a shit. But let's see if you can. I got a nice view of that parking lot. He was going to stop right over there and take that shit. It's the Kentucky International Convention Center. Looks like a building that's about to be torn down, and there's a White Castle, which I will be hitting up. You like White Castle?
I've never had it.
You never had it?
What?
Never had it.
Brenton, the burgers are like you. They're tiny and they're bite-sized. They're beautiful.
I like a big fat burger.
Oh boy. All right. So you guys are happy as Bills fans. You got what you wanted. Everything worked out.
Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna get the one seed.
So Cassie's father came over for Christmas, and he walks in the door, and he goes, "I was listening to ESPN radio, and they were shitting on the Bills, saying that they don't deserve to be a Super Bowl contender if they can't beat the Bears by 40 points." And I get that sentiment, but it's also like, well, the Eagles beat them by 5 points the week before, and the conditions in Chicago were not ideal. It was very cold, and the wind was bad. What I was proud of, for the first time this year, we really saw a major coaching adjustment in the second half, and they went from throwing the ball to running the ball, and they ran the ball down the Bears' throats, and they controlled that entire game in the second half and won by 3 touchdowns. So what more do you want? They almost ran for 300 yards, and it wasn't Josh Allen doing it.
You got to be able to do that, especially in the playoffs. You get out to a lead, you don't want to have to sit there and continue to throw the ball in the second half.
It's what we
turnovers,
Bills fans
picks,
have been waiting
sacks,
for is
fumbles.
Run the ball. And they ran the ball. They controlled the clock.
Yes.
I'm happy with where they're at. I'm still a little nervous about Josh's elbow. He's still making bad decisions, and he's not throwing the ball as accurate as he had been. But hopefully another week and he gets a little healthier and they keep moving forward. As long as they keep winning, they're winning games.
They are winning games. And look, I mean, I still think that the AFC The road to the Super Bowl goes through Buffalo. I think they'll get the 1 seed. I think that, I don't necessarily, I
It's
mean,
a
I don't know who they're going to play.
big game this week.
Yeah, who do you guys have?
We have
I haven't
Monday
even
night,
looked at the picks.
Monday Night Football, Cincinnati Bengals in Cincy.
Oh,
This is the best game of the year.
Yeah. So this is only the second time in modern NFL history where in the last 2 weeks of the season, there's only one game with 2 winning teams going against each other, and that is Buffalo Cincy. Cincy's won 7 in a row. Buffalo's won 6 in a row. Weather, it's going to be cold, but it shouldn't be an issue. So we're going to be able to
that
see the
doesn't matter
quarterbacks.
for either team.
Well, wind matters. The snow doesn't really matter except for visibility, but the wind, if it gets over 20 miles an hour, like the deep throws. But we should be good. It's going to be a hopefully a high scoring, fun game.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were playing Monday night. That's a fucking great game.
Yeah.
What's the line on that game? I haven't even looked at the lines. I'm gonna just play one. Give me a number, and I'm gonna play one today. I'll tell you who's gonna win every game.
It is the Bills are road favorites by I just lost it by 1 point. So
Point
the
and a
line's
half?
actually it was a point and a half, and now it's a point on DraftKings. So
Well, I have bad
it's going to
news
be a close
also.
game.
I'm in Kentucky where they don't allow you to gamble online, so I can't do the
Pull up
things on my. So it's up to
BetDSI.
you today. Yeah. So I didn't even realize as I landed, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, so hang
I
on.
don't even know what
The
the
line,
laws are
I
here.
guarantee you the line's going to be shittier on BetDSI. This is not a plug for them. Avoid them at all costs unless you're in a state where it's your only option. And it takes forever to load. So give me a minute. Let's move on.
I hate to tell you this. I'll vamp for a second for you, but I don't know if you're going to want to hear what I'm about to say. The fact that they are road dogs leads that means they want Cincinnati's going to win this game.
Well, they're road favorites.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're road favorites. They're home. That Cincinnati's a home dog.
But every expert analyst on ESPN is picking the Bengals, aside from I think 2 of them. So it's like 8 against 2. So that makes me feel good about
or maybe Vegas wants to get some money on that side of the, because they know that
they
the
want
Bills,
money on the Bengals, but the Bills end up rolling. Wow, that line for the Titans game tonight, since the news of Derrick Henry and all those guys on defense being out has moved. It opened at Cowboys -5. It's now Cowboys -14.
Damn.
I mean, talk about the line. Jonah's football fantasy team is supposed to 54% winning to 46 losing, and now it's 40% winning to 60% losing.
Yeah,
that's how much it moved the fantasy lines. Derrick Henry being out.
But yeah, four starters on defense, and Tannehill are all out as well. So
yeah,
it's rough.
That sucks. All right, let's pick some games. Let's get to the meat of the matter. I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah,
let me mop up after you.
This is a tough week because you have to invest in somebody that's playing for something, and there's not a lot of teams that are really playing for anything. Other than maybe like the Dolphins, Patriots are playing for something. The Chiefs are playing for the 1 seed. The Giants are playing for something. The Seahawks and Jets are both playing for playoff spots. 49ers are only playing for seeding. The Packers are playing for their lives, and they're giving 3.5 points at home. So they're home favorites against the Vikings. The Chargers are already in, so they're not really playing for anything. You got Ravens, Steelers. The Steelers are still technically they're in it, and they could get over 500. They could still have a winning record for their coach and keep that streak going. And the Ravens are not going to have Lamar Jackson again. So there's maybe like 5 games that we could look at. The rest, who knows? I mean,
do the Ravens have to win out, or they're safely in already? Because this is a very, what's happening with Lamar Jackson?
They've clinched a playoff spot, so it's just for seeding.
Yeah.
And I think technically they could still win the division if the Bengals lose out and they were to win out, but they don't want to rush. I don't think they care that much about getting the home game. They'd rather have Lamar Jackson completely healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, do we go back to the Lions? They have to win. They're at home in the dome. Weather's not an issue. The Bears defense is not good. Jared Goff has thrown for over 300 yards in 3 of 4. So do they win by a touchdown? It's -6 right now. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like the Patriots at home, -3 against the Dolphins. Who knows if Tua's going to play? I don't think he is. I think it's going to be Brissett.
No, I mean, yeah.
And
That
Belichick
was one of my
is,
picks.
Belichick's going to do well. I like the Giants at home. You have to win. Colts
Yeah, what's
are
the
bad.
line?
-5.5.
5.5 is a good number. Fuck. I was going to say 4.
I like the Seahawks at home against the Jets. Even though Mike White's coming back for the Jets and their defense is good, that's you got to travel to the West Coast, and the Seahawks have to win. I know the Jets.
Yeah, they don't want to be like. I mean, the Seahawks are almost like what the Giants would have been if they had not made the playoffs. Like the talk of the town the first half, and then a total fuking shit show the second half. So I think they folded the Jets.
This is where I put my foot down and I go, this is the lock of the week for me. Carolina's going to kick the shit out of Tom Brady, end his career that game. They're going to take the division. Tom Brady is done. It's over. This is the best week. If you're going to bet against Tom Brady, this is the week to do it. And fuck Bet DSI. That game is not even on the slate right now. Oh, wait, no, here it is. Never mind. I take it back. Sorry, Bet DSI. It is Carolina is +3 road dogs in Tampa, and they are going to go in there and they're going to run the ball down their throat. And Sam Darnold's going to be that guy that the Jets thought they were going to draft. And him and DJ Moore and Terrace Marshall.
That's what I'm. Should I start DJ Moore this week?
I mean,
Yes.
Darnold likes him. Darnold likes him a lot.
I know.
But what's your other option?
Well, first of all, I believe what you just said was right. I do think Carolina's going to win the game. I do think they beat Tampa, and I think they win that. They might win that division.
They are going to win that division.
Unreal.
I'm telling you, they are winning that division.
If, God forbid, something happens to Tom Brady, okay, physically in that game, Lucas, under no circumstance do you have my permission to put a blooper reel together of Brenton saying they're going to end him, it's over, they're going to end his career with the actual event happening, okay?
I do not mean they're going to end it in the form of injury. I mean they are going to end it in the form of he's going to lose this division. He's going to have the first losing record of his 20-some-year career, and he's going to retire because he should have retired after last year.
All that, and
the writing was on the wall.
Like you thought he was going to get horrifically injured and end his
career.
No,
I do think he's going to. I do think that's going to happen. I don't wish it upon him. I think it's going to happen because his offensive line is decimated and he has no time to throw the ball, and he can't move in the pocket. He's not escaping anybody. You think the guy's going to outrun a blitz? He's going to get blindsided. No. He's going to get hit low. Something's going to happen.
Which is why I'm like, look, you gotta think about if you're an owner, like this is the guy we want to hand the ball to for the next couple of years. But anyway, let's stick to the fucking point, Brenton.
Yeah, I believe in Carolina +3. That's my
Carolina
pick.
+3. That sounds good to me. I like the Giants to cover the 5.5. You said 5.5, right?
Yeah, I'm getting 5.5 here.
That to me stood out.
You already said it, Brenton. I like the Patriots this week. I like the Lions. How do you feel about Philly over New Orleans? I have it at 6.5 in Philly.
Look, man, Philly is far more talented than New Orleans is right now. That defense for New Orleans is pretty banged up, and they've definitely played a lot worse than we thought they would at the start of the year. And Gardner Minshew is going to play for a job. So I think he's going to come out. I think Miles Sanders. Yeah, but he's not going to play. Yeah. It's not a game they have to win. So they're not going to rush him back. He might play, but I don't think he's playing. So I would say Gardner Minshew starting, and I think Miles Sanders is going to have a massive game. So if you're doing DraftKings, that's the guy I would use. He's going to run all over him, and he could go for 150 and 2 touchdowns. Saints have quietly been giving up huge games to talented running backs. You had Mixon had his 5 TD against them. Yeah, they're giving up fantasy points to running backs. So if you have Miles Sanders, start him. And Gardner Minshew loves throwing to Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert's healthy. He didn't have AJ Brown last year when Gardner was playing, and now he's got AJ Brown. He's got Devonta Smith. So I still think they win that game, even though they don't need to. But if they do, they lock up the 1 seed.
I noticed that neither of you have touched the Bills game, which is smart because
That's one of
I
those.
do-
Honestly,
you don't want to hear my opinion.
no. What I will do, is I will place my own side bet and not ruin the parlay, and I will bet against Buffalo, knowing in my heart that they're going to win. But if they lose, I get money.
Speaking of side bets, ours from last week, if you can remember about Tom Brady losing, who was right and who was wrong, Brenton?
Well, I said for the parlay, I wanted to
Wait.
take the cover.
It's a very simple question. Who was right
I
and
wanted
who
to
was
take the
wrong?
cover. And second of all, my God, is the NFL scripted? Because this script is getting old of teams that should have closed out the game. Just close out the game. And then Tom falls his way into winning the football game. And even though he had nothing to do with the ice, just circumstance and bullshit. He's washed, Steve. I should have been correct. Trey Sorley should have won me money on the money line. But I said on the podcast, I wanted to take them to cover the 7.5 points, which you still stuck your nose up at.
Anyway, the point is you were dumb and wrong, and I was right.
I was not, though.
And if anyone
the
NFL
anyone watching the game can see that Tom Brady is a shell of himself.
If the NFL is scripted, they need to hire the person that's writing for the WNBA because they just sent the woman over to a Russian prison. So they mean business over there, okay?
Yeah.
That's the writer you want to get your hands on. That's the guy you think Tom Brady's going to have a helicopter accident. He's going to disappear and then come back like the nature boy Ric Flair at 50 years old out of retirement.
He's lucky that nothing's happened from the crypto fallout that he was pushing.
True.
There's some Russians that probably some very wealthy people that lost money because of him.
But he did a good job for me last week, and I told you he was going to, and I was right, and you were wrong.
He didn't do a good job last week. He was so mediocre. It was a horrible game. That was a horrible game. There were some bad games last week.
To win
Saints Browns were bad. That Titans game was horrible. The Falcons Ravens was just unwatchable.
These guys don't want to play on these holidays. They don't. They want the day off. They want it off. They don't mind when it's on like a Wednesday and like they have a game on Sunday and like a couple teams have to play on Christmas. But for the most part, like they don't want to have to play a full slate of games.
I mean, that Christmas
is like the shittiest time. Yeah.
That Broncos Rams game. Who would have thought the Rams would score damn near 50? The under on the game was, or the total points was like 41, 42.
Yeah.
The Rams hit that themselves.
Well, that's why Hackett got fired. If that's a one-score game, Hackett still has a job.
It was an embarrassment.
Yeah.
An embarrassment. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But by the way, what does that win us if we get put that together?
Sorry. Okay, so we've got. Well, we didn't select.
We only got 3 games, right?
You want to go with the Patriots, or you wanted to go with something else?
I would say the Patriots, over Philly.
Okay.
Unless you like the Lions more, but either the Lions or the Pats. If not,
I think here's what I think we should stay away from the Lions. I think the Lions. I don't know why. I just don't. I think they've kind of lost the luster a little bit. I think they peaked a little early. That's my opinion.
I'm not going to throw this in. This might be a side bet, one of my side bets, but I kind of.
One of my side bets.
I know I say stay away from the Raiders, but 9.5 at home against San Francisco.
Don't do it, man.
New quarterback.
Are you nuts?
New energy.
Just leave it alone,
I will
dude.
put some money on that. I'll send it to you guys after I win, and
go ahead.
Can buy my yacht.
Eat shit, Brenton.
I really like the Chargers to beat the Rams, and I like the Packers to beat the Vikings. But we have Carolina +3. We have New England -3, and the Giants -5.5. And so $50 is going to net us a respectable $331.82.
This seems manageable, winnable, and something that could be attained.
Yes.
I'm in.
Locked in. It's locked in.
I wish I could get home in time. Do you think I could teach Jonah how to open up my DraftKings account on my iPad in New York?
Yeah, you could.
and place the bet for me. That's legal, right?
You could, well, I mean, no, but you could video
Oh.
chat. You could video chat. You're having a child place bets.
Okay.
So maybe
Wait a minute.
we're gonna have Tracy place the bets
don't-
for you.
Baby gambling's legal? Is illegal? Is what you're telling me?
But yeah, you
Baby
could
gambling?
you could FaceTime with Tracy, and she could put the bet
Oh,
in
she's an adult.
with her childlike hands.
She doesn't really answer the phone when I'm gone on the road on the weekends. Like I talk more to the kids than I talk to her. So this might be easier to get one of them to get it done. Jackson will be able to do it. My older son, he'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be fine. All right, I'll figure this out because I want to play along with us this week. I feel
No,
very
but
confident about
to
this.
put it out there, because you've incriminated yourself on this podcast before, Tracy
Name
will be
one
placing
time.
the bets.
Maybe, or it could be a kid, baby gambler. Well, I guess that's it for us, guys. Anything else gone on? Anything else happen? What did I miss? I mean, I had a great holiday. Christmas was fun.
Rest in peace to the legend Pele. He passed away.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Pele.
Yeah, that just happened.
To the big soccer pitch in the sky.
Yeah.
Gone, but never forgotten as far as soccer is concerned. What country is Pele from? Colombia?
Brazil.
Brazil. The Colombia of the South. Is anyone going on vacation or anything fun or anything that's over this little, New Year's? Are you guys doing anything fun? You working? What are you doing New Year's?
I'll have an update. So we haven't been able to go to her families yet because her mom was ill. So we haven't technically done Christmas, but I'll have an update hopefully by the next episode of something fun that I got her.
Oh, nice. All right. Ooh.
Yeah.
I will be flying Southwest on New Year's.
No, you won't.
Oh, wait. No, you won't, dude. I'm very confident you'll be at the fucking
your bag will
Burbank
fly
airport.
Your bag will fly home. You're not going anywhere.
You'll be at the Wolfgang Pucks in Burbank, spending your time there, dude, waiting for an Uber back to your apartment. Where are you going? For real? You traveling somewhere or no?
I'm supposed to leave Iowa. I have a Saturday night spot I got to get to, so I hope I don't get delayed.
Is it a main room spot?
No, it's OR.
Oh, but still, it's still a pretty good night for the old cashola, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they upped the OR pay to $50.
Oh, they upped the pay?
They doubled it.
Wait, they upped it? I think you said for that night they upped it to $50. Oh,
no,
that's what it is from now on?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
My God.
They must be doing well.
Nah.
The one thing about they're very into equal pay, so it'll go up. I'm happy about that. The one thing about the place getting a little woke is that they're starting to, they realize maybe we should pay.
We can't keep giving these guys less than they're giving the parking attendant.
Yeah, true that. Or what he's robbing. Do they still rob and steal at the Comedy Store, or is it like?
Oh yeah, there's always. Oh yeah, no, it's
thank God. Not that again, not incriminating. I don't condone robbing and stealing from any business. But if you're going to do it from a Walgreens. No, I'm kidding. I don't care where you do it from. All right, I'm in Louisville, by the way. If anyone's around, I'm saying it right, Louisville. I'm just slurring it like a fucking alcoholic. I'm gonna go have some whiskey and some bourbon in a little bit. And I got a show tonight, 2 tomorrow, and 2 on Saturday for the big New Year's extravaganza. Which let's have fun. Let's just keep it under control. I don't want to go nuts. We'll have fun. We'll have a good time, and manageable. I got to get home and watch the Giant game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I have commitments now. My team could be possibly going to the playoffs.
You are playing meaningful football late in the
first time. This is a very strange feeling to me. I walk around with an erection all day long. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Let's get out of here. I got to go, I don't know, take a shower and walk. I love everyone. SteveRennersEasy.com. And I added a bunch of dates. Greenville. What else we got? Huntsville, Alabama. We got Vancouver, La Jolla, Denver, Colorado. Someplace in Virginia. It's like a casino. Kent, I think it's Kent, Virginia. I'll be there. SteveRennersEasy.com for tickets and dates and all that good stuff. Anyone else?
Okay.
No?
I'm just living life.
Live your
Same.
life, Brenton. Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2023, everyone.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy.